Our expedition to the South Pole was 600 miles on foot, and it was the first expedition ever to only survive on renewable energy. For the last 100 years in Antarctica, one's been using kerosene or jet fuel. We pushed that away, and working with organizations like NASA, took the whole melting of ice, which is the most important thing, a huge step forward, only using solar. So we're very proud of that. We did it. It was damn hard work. The equipment was heavier than it would have been normally. And what we learned is that if it can work there, it can work anywhere. So our message to people is a very simple one. Get a solar panel somewhere in your life, use it. Follow the leadership of the great people like Bertrand Piccard, who flew around the world on a solar plane. It's possible to use it. It works. So our message is that when it comes to energy, that we can think, all of us, especially young people, on using energy in an entirely different way. And it's not just words. We don't operate in Antarctica just because it's cold. We operate there because Antarctica is disintegrating, it's melting, and sea level will around the world rise, and we have a problem on our hands, and it's a survival situation. So our modest effort in walking to the pole, which really hurt, by the way, was the beginning of what we call the Climate Force Challenge. Because I'm a great believer that if you spilt a cup of coffee here on the floor, you should clean it up. And I'm not a great believer in things like offsetting. I think if you make a mess, you should clean it up. So our target over the next 7 years is to clean up 326 million tons of CO2 out of our atmosphere, actually clean it up. And we're working with a great company here in Switzerland called Climeworks, who are actually sucking CO2 out of the air, turning it back into rock, making it into products. So perhaps CO2 might actually be something that's sellable. So, and some basic things like planting trees, algae farms, working in India a lot with microgrid systems. So we have a plan over 7 years to actually suck CO2 out of the air, clean up the thing, plant millions of trees, and give your everyday person a chance to be involved with it. So we'll also have an app where if somebody doesn't use a straw one evening at a restaurant, they can click the app and say, I did a straw, it's 1 micron of a ton. That's all quite simple, but I genuinely believe that the last great exploration left on Earth is to survive on Earth. And really the heroines and heroes of that exploration to survive are people who are in technology. Because technology has to be the key to our survival on Earth. And I am not an explorer, and I'm too stupid to be a scientist, and I'm certainly not an environmentalist. I hate the word. But do you know something? You're looking at somebody who's really good at staying alive. I'm great at staying alive, right? Touch wood. And a survivor, which I am, has to look at the easiest way to survive, not the hardest way. And technology and creating jobs and wealth through technology that's also looking after our environment is the only way forward. And actually what we do in Switzerland and what we do in Europe and what we do in the USA is pretty damn irrelevant. It's relevant in India, where there's 1.4 billion people, and it's relevant in China and developing nations. That's where we've got to get this renewable energy really taking off. I think that any company that's serious about expanding, about growing, because companies are all about growth, has to actually say that sustainability, renewable energy, looking after our planet, cleaning up, are actually fantastic business opportunities, because the general public are now starting to say, well, hang on a minute, do I use this company or do I use that company? Do I use this product? Do I use that product? Do I use this airline? Do I use that airline? Based on their performance to do with sustainability, renewable energy, and the rest of it. It's starting. So any company just simply has to put it on the list. Any good company has cost, resources, expenditures, all these things are on a list, a business list. All they've got to do is put sustainability and energy, and maybe even save a lot of money if they've got it on the list of how they're developing their company. They have to do it, or they will not succeed. The world is changing so fast, they've got to get with the program. I think that people often talk about impact investing. Well, we need to have impact with investing, and I think that renewable energy, sustainability, new companies that are really taking off, like, for example, Climeworks that's sucking this energy out. I'm off to Iceland tomorrow to go and see their prototype machine. Those people need investment because those people are really going to do the right thing. So any venture people, any venture capital people, they should look at the impact of their investment, but also it's got to make sense. It's got to make money too. And I believe that the way the world's going is that companies that are doing the right thing on sustainability are good investments because people can see it. They're not stupid. Climate change is happening. It's definite. How much we're causing it, we don't know yet, but we are causing some of it. So let's get ahead of the game and make it a fabulous business opportunity.